Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chats. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong life for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good to see a few of you up and at it already, which is excellent. Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, where we hang out in the morning with a hot cup of coffee and get a bit of an early start on the day, thinking about our property investment portfolio, creating our wealth, going the distance, making sure we navigate the world of investing. So welcome along. Thanks for joining. Good to see a bunch of you already up and at it. Today, I want to talk about the idea of making instant equity. Who'd like to make instant equity? Pick me. The market moves up and down, around, and there's opportunities as educated, smart, focused investors to create money out of thin air. So today we're going to talk about that, and we'll get on to that in a minute. But a big shout out to Brad. Morning, mate. Good to see you here. We got Luke in the house. Morning, Luke. Alex is all the way from Cairns. How is it up there in Cairns, Alex? This time of the year must be getting a little bit cooler than normal, less sweaty. Facebook user, whoever you are, good morning to you. You're behind the veil. Alison's in the house as well. Kevin, great to see you, mate. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you are well. Brad's keen as mustard. Anyway, there you go. The Funky Gibson. Well, good morning, Funky Gibson. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Alex, it's raining up there. Thanks for joining, folks. As always, good to have you here. If you're new, though, to the show, and if you didn't already know, most of you do, though, but Jason Witten's my name. It says it there in the thing down the bottom there, right there. Been property investing well over 20 years, helping property investors across Australia and New Zealand buy property. Well over 10,000 properties we've helped our investors buy over 21 years, myself and Sam. Along the way, we've paid attention and we've learned a few things. Learn a few things to do, learn a few things not to do. Each morning we catch up and have a quick coffee and we talk about one or two things like that. So this morning, I'm going to talk to you about the idea of instant equity, how to make money out of uncertainty. The market is uncertain at the moment, and why? The market is, but you and I, as property investors who are knowledgeable, we know what's going on because we pay attention, we learn, we cross-reference and check different sources of information. We get assistance. We ask our advisors. We check in with our six-star team. We know what's going on. So let's talk about that this morning because this one's a good one, I think. This one's a good one. Anyway, they're all good as far as I'm concerned, but that might be a little bit of a biased opinion. Right, let's get in the chat. I want your help this morning. Tell me, not you, because you're informed and you know what's going on. Tell me, what is the market uncertain about right now when it comes to the property investing world, mortgages, construction? Like, tell me, in our world of property investing, what's the market, the general uninformed investor or property buyer are uncertain about right now, folks? What are they seeing? What's the thing going on? Chuck some things in the chat because has this uncertainty principle, how you and I, as educated investors, can be certain about uncertain things and make money. Okay, make money. So I'm going to talk about that today. So put it in the chat for me. What is the market uncertain about right now? Why is the market holding back? Why isn't the market out there absolutely ripping it up, buying left, right, and center, getting every single deal known on the earth as we go? So yeah, okay. So certainly chuck it in the chat for me, team. Alex has said, the politicians, they're always politics. Is that how you spell it? Doesn't look right, does it? Inflation. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, inflation. What else? What else, folks? What else is going on? They're uncertain about the politics. They're uncertain about inflation. Yeah, exactly, Luke. Yeah, builders going broke. Builders broke. You know, land tax. You know, the politicians are grotty, money-grabbing bastards, which they are. Right? High interest rates. Oh, the interest rates. Interest rates are high, right? Interest rates are high. And that's pretty well most of it, to be honest, folks. Serviceability, yeah, but the average person doesn't really worry about serviceability. Sharon, maybe they're worried about job security, stuff like that, right? So here's the drill, right? That right now, the market is worried about inflation. They're worried about high interest rates, the cost of living, right? Okay, cost of living. Cost of living, right? Cost of living. They're worried about land tax, you know. Tell me, like right now in Melbourne, you know, their political system's a bunch of dipshits. But, you know, now they did a grotty land grab on literally every landowner, investor. And they said, nah, we're going to drop the land tax-free rate, right? And so everyone's up in arms about it, and so we should be, because that's just rude. You know, how illegal is that? We'll just change our mind. There's the rules, but we'll change them. What a bunch of pricks. But anyway, but folks, how much? What does that cost the average investor right now? Hey, morning, Mark. Good to see you, mate. There's Sharon. So tell me in the chat, how much does that cost the average investor? Because right now I've got properties in Melbourne and we're just receiving the land tax bill. You know, an average investment property, let's say $700,000. How much does that cost that person, folks? How much? Depending if it's a house or a townhouse or an apartment, right? Right. Okay. It's cost that investor $1,000, folks. Maybe a bit less. Yeah, exactly, Sharon. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, $950 or so. Exactly. Now, here's the drill, right? Here's the drill. Yes, that's annoying. That's rude. That's fucked, right? Excuse the French. But I can tell you what, if you reacted and go, oh, that's it, I'm out of Victoria, then, and I say this with the greatest respect, but maybe to annoy you if it lands, then you're a good time Charlie. You're not an investor. Who cares about $1,000? What do? You put your damn rent up. You claim the tax. Two parts of nothing. Exactly, Brad. And we've got people in these articles going, oh, investors are fleeing Melbourne. They're not investors. They're good time Charlies, and good riddance to them. Good riddance to them. Get rid of them, because they ruin the market for everyone else. These people who buy things and at one moment, you know, the wind changes and they're like, oh, property investing didn't work. No, you didn't work. You didn't follow the rules. You didn't know what you were doing. And every 5 minutes, something minuscule changes, you run off and the sky's falling. Luke, I completely agree with you right now. This is the thing, right? Because the rest of the market's uncertain about Victoria, the buying opportunity there is the best in the country. It's our second biggest city. It's the #1 destination for immigration. Yeah, like it's amazing. And you know what? When the Victorians wake up and they actually start voting for someone decent, and hey, they've had a wake-up call, right? Vote for some decent damn politicians, right? That state will come back with a vengeance, right? So this is how we make money out of uncertainty. The good time Charlies are uncertain, right? And you and I know we've got our 15 to 20-year plan. We know we need to own some properties in Melbourne. We know we need to own some in Brisbane, and some in Sydney, and some in Canberra, and some in Perth, and maybe Adelaide if you want to, right? We know that. We know the plan. We're not good time Charlies. We're not sitting around going, oh, maybe if it's all perfect, I'll be an investor. If that's your plan, it's going to fail. I'm telling you that right now. Fired up this morning. Probably had too many coffees. But I'm telling you, in this uncertainty, right? In this uncertainty, yeah, exactly, Brad. And that's the opportunity, right? That's the opportunity. So let's be smart, certain investors right now. What do we know? What do we know? Tell me in the chat. What are we certain about right now in this property market? What are we certain about, folks? Tell me in the chat. What are we certain about? What do we know that is, what do we know? What do we know when we do the research and cross-reference with good bits of data, ignore the stupid media? Exactly, Alex. What do we know about vacancy rate? Lowest in history. Lowest in history. Lowest vacancy rate in history ever in Australia. Like don't underestimate that, right? The rents are going up, and we know for a fact they are going to continue to go up. Rents are going to go up over the next 3 to 5 years very consistently. We know that. And if you don't know that, then go and do some research and get certain about it. And if that doesn't work, you shouldn't be a property investor. If you can't be certain from looking at some good data and having some research, then go do something else. This stuff's really straightforward, team. It's the lowest vacancies in history. It's the worst supply we have had in over 10 years, right? And it's actually more when you add the two things. The lowest second-hand resale rate, second-hand properties on the market have dropped 30%. 30%, folks. And our population's gone up 1 million people, by the way. And our new construction is at the worst. Now, approvals are at the worst they've been across the nation for 10 years. And you wait till you see the construction starts. They're going to be the worst we've seen probably in 50 years or maybe ever as a percentage. Limited supply. Worst supply ever. So there's nothing on the market. We've got the lowest vacancy rates in history. Come on now. Who's feeling me here, right? Now, the rest of the market is like, oh, watch out. The interest rates have gone up. What do we know about interest rates? Tell me, team, what do you know, being a smart, sophisticated, educated investor who understands history, who understands economics, not like an economist, but in the baseline like we all need to. What do we know about interest rates? What do we know for an absolute 100% fact about the interest rates? Tell me in the chat. What do we know about inflation? What do we know for sure already about inflation? Tell me in the chat, folks. What do we know about interest rates? And what do we know about inflation? Interest rates going down. We know in 2025, interest rates will go down. So your rents are going up. They've peaked, exactly, Sharon. Your rents are going up. It's at the high cycle. There's no talk about, anything under 6% is cheap. Yep, exactly. And I ask this all the time. So when the interest rates go down, are you going to drop your rents? Because they're going to go down between 1.5% and 2%. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, folks. All right. What are we certain about? What about infrastructure? Inflation. Inflation is going down. We've had 2 or 3 quarters in a row. Inflation returning to its new normal, right? Whatever that looks like. We know this. We know it for a fact. Now, what does this certainty lead? What do we know about the next part of the supply chain? Folks, what do we know? If we've got the lowest vacancy in history, the worst supply ever, interest rates are going to go down, and inflation's going to go down. What do we know about the pricing of property into the future? All right, what do we know? And we already see it in certain things. Tell me what they are. All right. This is how we make money. This is how we do it. What are we certain about, team? What are we certain about? Okay. We are certain because we know right now, and over here, construction, and I don't know if you guys see this as much. Construction has peaked. Construction costs have peaked, and are starting to come back. In Queensland, we are now getting fixed priced, small reduction, not large, but small reduction house construction pricing. Fixed guaranteed pricing, fixed time frame, and no escalations. Okay, we're seeing it already. So it's peaked. We already know this. What? Yep, no signs of supply fixed, yet demand is still high. Exactly, Alison. Exactly. The demand is still high because why? What else are we sure about? We're sure about the population going up. We're sure about 700,000 new people, new Aussies, entered this country in the last 2 years. Record. We're certain about that, team. All right? We're certain. So if you want to make money, instant equity out of uncertainty, the rest of the market is uncertain. They're uneducated. They take their information from the media and they're sitting in fear. They will wait 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. And if you want to wait, then you will miss out because here's what we're certain about. Right now, if you know how to do it, we've got properties that our mentoring and coaching clients have got access to. So let's just use Melbourne as an example. Right now, in Melbourne, you can buy brand new, amazing high quality properties between 8,000 and 9,000 a square meter. And they're going to be completed, finishing in the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, they're the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, now why aren't they selling off the shelf? Well, because people are uncertain. Oh, it's under construction. I'm worried about the builder going broke. That's not going to happen. I'm worried about the price going up. It's not going to happen. For these, we know for certainty, you can get extra certainty when you work with what we do. 8,900 square meter. Here's how certain we are that you are going to make 30% on that property over the next 2 to 3 years, depending on how that cycle goes, right? Because literally next door, the next property being sold off the plan 3 years away, 3 years into the future, being sold and going quite okay, is being priced at 12,000 to 13,000 a square meter. So right now, do you want to get instant equity? Go and buy that. Instantly, the equity built in will be here because every single new project in that style, which is a luxury apartment style in Melbourne, is priced 12,000 up to 20,000, folks, a square meter. Why are these ones so cheap? Well, they got their pricing 2 years ago. They're under construction, okay? Want to make money? This is what we're certain about. This is what we're certain about. And the rest of the market are uncertain about those things. Instant equity right now. We've got examples like this in the Sunshine Coast. We've got waterfront property, water view property in the Sunshine Coast right now, 8,900 square meter. We've got water view, like almost waterfront property in New South Wales right now, 8,000 square meter. Every single other property being built into the future is 12, 13, 14, 15,000 a square meter. Instant equity, folks. Instant equity, okay? That's what we know. That's how we're certain. What else are we certain about right now? The other opportunity for instant equity is up in Brisbane for when you construct a house. You get some land and build a house, land and construction. Land and construction. What we do know is that buyers right now, team, they're keen on, they don't want to take the construction risk, right? We've got 6 months fixed price land and construction up in Brisbane. And I showed this the other day. There's a margin in completed stock, right? A completed piece of real estate they're paying 15 to 20% more for something completed, brand new, than you can build it, get the land and build it for right now. So you want to be certain about instant equity? Well, if you want to create instant equity over a 6-month period, do one of those deals. Get yourself some land, get a fixed price 6-month construction price right now, and the market is paying a premium of 15 to 20% for completed property because they are uncertain about builders going broke. They're uncertain. I don't want to take the risk, right? There you go. Does that make sense today? We're certain about some things, team, and we've got this uncertainty window that the general population is going to be held away from the market, okay? And they're going to purchase things at a premium. They're paying more than things are probably worth today, but they'll be worth it in the future to remove the risk in their life. Now, you and I as investors, smart investors, understand that the risk is low when you are certain about things. When we are certain about things, we know stuff about those markets. We're not punters. We're not good time Charlies. We are certain, educated, professional investors, and we know how it works. And if you find the right property with the right team, then you can get an outcome. So that's, hopefully that makes sense. We're certain about this part. There's some other things that are going to accelerate that wealth. I think the supply issue is not going to be fixed for a decade, all right? It is destroyed. It's destroyed right now. And what's going to happen is pricing is going to accelerate because, folks, because of that problem. And we don't want to be left behind. Let's get a piece of the action. Let's get some action. Anyway, there you go. That's it from me today, folks. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me on Wealth Coffee Chat. Hopefully that was useful. Turn uncertainty into instant equity with the things that you and I know. So there you go. Anyway, if you need to catch up with your coach or your team, make sure you reach out. Don't miss this stuff, folks. There are some off the plan opportunities right now that are 2 or 3 years away. So if a deal right now isn't going to fit your cash flow, then do an off the plan deal, folks, and reach out to the team. We've got some off the plan deals that are priced at 8,000 and 9,000 a square meter in Melbourne right now because of that uncertainty in the market. Right, fire up. Thanks, thanks, Luke. All right, team, that's it from me. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Join me tomorrow. We'll do it again. Actually, don't join me. Join Brad in finance tomorrow. It's Finance Fridays tomorrow. So have a good time with Brad, the Positive Monday lending specialists as we go. So there you go. All right, team. Join Brad tomorrow from Positive Money. And that's it from me. I'll see you guys next week, bright and early on Monday. That's it. Take care, folks. Bye for now.